Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 122. And so, before I get into the review, I want to say for any Crunchyroll users or anyone who's wondering as to why this review is even going out when you can't even find a good copy, when you can't even find like the episode itself, it's because for any Crunchyroll users out there like me. You should know that if you want to watch the episode, you may inevitably have to go to Kiss Anime or some illegal streaming site to watch the episode, because apparently all the legal streaming sites are either offline or have been hacked, or some stupid shit is going on with that. Like, if it's hackers, it's probably some asshats who think they're being funny, but yeah, if you want to watch the episode, unfortunately, you have for just this one day, I want to assume you're gonna have to go onto an illegal streaming site. Like, unfortunately, that's the only way you guys are probably ever gonna be able to watch the episode. So yeah, that's just me pointing you guys in the right direction for those who are confused as to why this video is coming out. Even this video is coming out because I watched it on Kiss Anime I watched it on Kiss Anime. Anyway, so as far as the episode itself goes, it was actually pretty fucking epic, I gotta say. But then again, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, it was fucking Universe 7 against Universe 11, and it was promised to be a SmackDown brawl, and it's proven to be already. And I gotta say, first off, when the Grand Prix merged the spectator boost together, so Universe 11 and Universe 7 ended up sitting together, actually, I don't know why, but I just lost my shit. Like, I could not breathe from laughing. It was just seeing Universe 7 and Universe 11 clumped together in one sitting booth. It was one of those awkwardly tense situations in the most hilarious ways. It was like something you basically see at some kind of a family comedy where you basically have all your where the main character has basically all of his annoying relatives in the exact same car and whatnot. But yeah, it was one of those. It was just a very funny, awkwardly tense scene. And in the end, whether the Grand Prix turns out to be good or bad, I'll always remember him as being just a massive troll. And this episode did prove just how much of a massive troll he is. Like, really. And so the episode kicks off when we see Goku and Jiren fighting. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I was a little taken back by the fact that Goku was using Super Saiyan Blue to fight Jiren and actually putting up a fight. But when I saw him go, but when I pretty much, but then I immediately I immediately remembered back, like, to his whole power up itself, and what the context of his power up meant. Because when I saw him when I saw him powering up even further with his power up, it made me realize that they were actually that with Goku powering up in this episode, they were actually showcasing one of Goku's greatest strengths, which is his ability to incorporate other powers into his Saiyan transformations. So, from that, I think we can assume that what we saw was Goku incorporating a little bit of Ultra Instinct into his Super Saiyan Blue form. And if that's the case, it makes the most sense here, because Goku's had several tries now at utilizing the Ultra Instinct power. So it makes sense that he would know how to use it in terms of combining it with all of his Super Saiyan transformations, with his Super Saiyan transformation. And it also really works because we've already seen it works here too, because we've already seen something like this happen in the Universe 6 tournament arc, where pretty much Goku had already done something like that before when he utilized Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue. So yeah, it works on both levels. And honestly, even just explaining it makes it even more hype to me. Like, just seeing the fact of how strong Goku can be, and just how much of a friggin' badass he can be in utilizing this new power. If that is the case, then yeah, this just opens up a ton of possibilities for Goku to be even more of a badass, and for Vegeta too. But we're gonna get to Vegeta in a moment. Um, Now, of course, the battle was pretty. Now, of course, the whole battle of Goku and Vegeta, of Goku and Jiren was pretty swiftly interrupted by our favorite Saiyan Prince, our favorite Saiyan Prince, Vegeta, sorry, and Vegeta butting in and with of course with Vegeta butting in and wanting a piece of Jiren. And while there were maybe one or two questionable things about it, I do gotta say overall Vegeta and Jiren like Jiren I guess as a whole, but the latter half of this was this episode was just crazy all the way through, but just everything that involved Jiren in this episode, especially when Vegeta was fighting Jiren, was hype for me to watch. Because when it comes for okay, here's the thing. When it comes now, I know that there are going to be a lot of people who are probably going to be a little pissed off with this episode because inevitably because Vegeta lost again. But there are a few things to take note of with that. The first thing is that technically Vegeta hasn't been kicked out of the tournament yet. He's pretty much only I guess unconscious for the most part. So he does have a chance in order to come back and even stronger. Because remember, when a Saiyan is near death, he comes back even stronger. And this right here, I think, is going to open the window for in order for Vegeta to actually gain his Ultra Instinct. And because as far as Vegeta himself goes, like when it comes to Vegeta and his moments in the series, I personally whenever I go in, I know going into an episode like this that inevitably he's gonna lose, but in the end, I don't care because I find myself more invested in Vegeta's emotional development more than I do whether or not he's actually going to defeat the main villain, the main enemy or the main villain. And somehow I think Toriyama is aware of this too, because I think he has said in the past, I guess, that he isn't a big fan of Vegeta, but I think he has still found a way in order to use Vegeta in the context of the story, which is that he gives Goku all the physically developed moments, but he gives Vegeta all the emotional developed moments, which in a way works in itself. And I think in that respect, for me, I've never been too bothered by it because I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I've always kind of had that particular thought in my head, is that okay, Vegeta keeps getting his ass handed to him, so why aren't I more upset? And again, it leads back to because he developed emotionally as a character. So yeah, I can't be too bad at that. Now again, he hasn't been knocked off the stage, so there is of course an opportunity for him to return. And I imagine when he does return, we are going to see Ultra Instinct Vegeta this time. And again, it plays into my next point, which is, other than like the action in this episode was hype as fuck. And I mean, it was just a fucking battle royale with Frieza fighting Dispo in one fight, which, by the way, in that one, I'm not sure who was the bigger troll there. And there's also a brief frame with Frieza on the ground, which honestly, I don't buy for a second that he's lost. You just know Frieza is basically playing possum with that. He's gonna, when Dispo gets close enough, Frieza is going to probably wreck him. We know it. We know what kind of person Frieza is, so we know what he's gonna do. And then we also have And then we also have Android 17 and Gohan facing Topo, which I've heard some things about, but I'll just wait and see how it plays out. And of course the Vegeta versus Jiren. Like I said, even though the fight kind of favored Vegeta, even though the fight did end up favoring Jiren, though, the whole thing of what I really do like is how we see just glimpses of Vegeta awakening Ultra Instinct, but never a full awakening yet, which I do like because, again, basically playing into that whole setup with Vegeta getting defeated. I think that is a door that is going to open up Ultra Instinct in a future episode for sure. And so there's one thing I've always known about Dragon Ball in general is that when Vegeta awakens a new power, he always does it in a very different way than Goku. And even though it was reckless, Vegeta still did somewhat have a plan going in, a plan and a strategy going in against Jiren, even though he didn't get the result he wanted. But again, we just see those little glimpses of him awakening Ultra Instinct, which in the end I think pretty much cements that Vegeta is going to with him getting as when you combine all the little touches of Vegeta fighting in this episode plus him getting defeated. Yeah, I think the door to Ultra Instinct is going to awaken for Vegeta very, very soon. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.